Jacob Kavanaugh, a 31-year-old from Grand, Michigan, disappeared on March 31, 2010, after playing disc golf with a friend in Traverse City. He declined an invitation to go out and instead headed home to study. His last known contact was a call to confirm his college enrollment at 1 a.m. on April 1st. His debit card was used in Mattawan, Michigan at 2 a.m. and later in Fort Worth and Sweetwater, Texas. Surveillance footage in Sweetwater shows a person resembling Jacob, but it's unclear if it was him. His car, a 2002 Chevrolet Malibu, was reportedly spotted in a scrapyard in Mexico in 2017, but there's no confirmation he crossed the border. His phone and bank card were never used again, and he left behind his phone charger and other personal items. Jacob was a student at Northwestern Michigan College, a member of the National Guard, and employed at Dave's Garage. He was weeks away from graduating and had 2 young children. His family believes it was unlike him to disappear without a trace. In 2015, he was declared legally deceased, but the case remains open. Andy Wagner, a 24-year-old woman from Evansville, Indiana, disappeared in early August 2022 and has not been seen since. Her last known contact was a brief visit to her grandparents' home on August 6, after which she left with a man she knew. The man later claimed she left his home either late that evening or in the early morning hours of August 7th. However, evidence indicated that Andy's phone continued to ping at that location until the afternoon of August 7th, raising questions about the timeline of her disappearance. In the months following her disappearance, conflicting accounts emerged regarding Andy's whereabouts and the individuals she had been with, complicating the investigation. Despite extensive search efforts and media attention, no trace of Andy has been found. Her case has drawn national attention, though it has also attracted individuals with questionable motives, diverting focus from the search for her. Andy is described as 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing 115 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. She has several tattoos, including one with her mother's name on her forearm, a small rocket on her left ankle, and Roman numerals. As of 2025, this case remains unsolved. Nicole Diane Coleman, a 23-year-old woman from Houston, was found murdered in East Austin, Texas, on December 31, 2018. Her body was discovered by a cyclist in a wooded area near Ed Bluestein Boulevard, approximately a mile from the Cool Corner convenience store where she was last seen on December 28th. Surveillance footage captured her walking through the store's parking lot around 7:30 at night. Coleman had recently moved to Austin and was residing in a safe home for women. She had a history of mental health issues and had been receiving treatment at local facilities prior to her death. Her family described her as a kind and hopeful individual with aspirations of becoming a therapist to help others. Police haven't published many details about the investigation or the crime scene itself. To that end, detectives have told the family and the media that Nicole's body was discovered without her clothes, and that Nicole suffered traumatic injuries throughout her body, and that they recovered items of evidence. As of today, this case still remains unsolved. Lisa Michelle Kelly, a 24-year-old pregnant mother from Dallas, Texas, was brutally murdered in March 2014. She was last seen on March 7, 2014, leaving her grandmother's house to attend a friend's wake. Later that evening, her sister received a disturbing, unintentional phone call from Lisa, during which she could be heard screaming for her life, saying, "Stop! Stop! Get off me!" A man was also heard saying, "Shut up! Stop screaming!" You want to be hard-headed. DeLisa's body was discovered on March 14, 2014, in an abandoned house on Presidio Avenue in the Oak Cliff neighborhood of Dallas. The Dallas County Medical Examiner determined that she had been beaten and strangled to death. At the time of her death, she was 8 weeks pregnant and had a young son. Despite the chilling nature of the phone call and the subsequent discovery of her body, no arrests have been made, and the case remains unsolved. Her family has been vocal in their criticism of the police response, believing that a quicker reaction could have potentially saved DeLisa's life. They have advocated for the creation of an adult missing person alert system, similar to the Amber Alert for children and the Silver Alert for seniors, to expedite responses in such cases. This initiative, known as the Kelly Alert, has gained support and was signed into law by the Texas governor. Tiffany Witten, a 26-year-old woman from Powder Springs, Georgia, disappeared on September 13, 2013, after being observed allegedly shoplifting at a Walmart in Marietta. Loss prevention officers attempted to confront her, but she fled the scene barefoot and has not been seen since. At the time of her disappearance, Tiffany was in a turbulent relationship with Ashley Red Cottle, who was present at the Walmart with her. After the incident, Cottle claimed to have searched for Tiffany but did not report her missing or inform her family. It wasn't until January 2014 that Tiffany's mother, Lisa Daniels, filed a missing persons report. Investigators have considered Cottle a person of interest due to inconsistencies in his statements and his failure to report Tiffany's disappearance. In 2015, Cottle was sentenced to 10 to 20 years in prison for drug and firearm charges, with authorities noting his lack of cooperation in the Witten case. Despite extensive investigations, including searches near Lake Allatoona following an informant's tip, no conclusive evidence has been found regarding Tiffany's whereabouts. Her case remains unsolved, and she is still considered missing. Tyara Williams, a 19-year-old from Greensboro, North Carolina, has been missing since January 7, 2016. She was last seen around 8:30 p.m. at the Stony Brook Apartments on Webster Road. Tyara left her mother's apartment with her boyfriend and younger brother, stating she was going to visit a friend within the complex and would return in about an hour. She did visit her friend's apartment, but on her way back, her phone's GPS signal ceased, indicating it was turned off or the battery died. She never arrived home and has not been heard from since. At the time of her disappearance, Tyara had recently graduated from Dudley High School and had plans to attend Guilford Technical Community College, where she had registered for classes in early childhood development. She had also planned to go shopping with her mother for textbooks and a laptop the following day, but she vanished before those plans could take place. Investigators have classified her disappearance as suspicious and believe foul play may be involved. Despite extensive searches and public appeals, no substantial leads have emerged. It has been 9 years since she was last seen, and sadly, this case remains unsolved. Blake Tyler Chappelle, a 17-year-old from Noonan, Georgia, was found murdered on December 19, 2011. On the evening of October 15th, Blake went with his girlfriend Ryan to the East Coweta High School homecoming dance. Blake would later tell his mother during a phone call that this night was the best night of his life and that he had so much fun dancing and spending time with his friends. Sometime around 10:30 p.m., Ryan's mother, Shannon, picked the couple up from the dance and brought them back to her home, where they watched a movie and hung out. At around 11:30 p.m., Shannon drove Blake to his friend Austin's house, where he had plans to spend the night. Sometime between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. on October 16, 2011, Blake leaves Austin's house on foot to make the roughly 3-mile walk back to Ryan's house. Austin later told police that he was wearing black pants, a white t-shirt, and one of his jackets when he left. Blake arrived at Ryan's house sometime around 4:30 a.m. and reportedly snuck into the bedroom window, knowing he wasn't supposed to be back at her home. The couple spends some time hanging out in Ryan's room before they're interrupted by her grandmother, who catches Blake in the room. After quickly sneaking out of the house again, it's around 5 a.m. by the time Blake starts the trek back to Austin's house. As he walks, he sends several text messages to Ryan and her mother, apologizing for being at their home so late without their permission. At approximately 5:30 a.m., Blake sent a text to Ryan, explaining that he had been stopped by a police officer who had asked where he was going and had asked for his ID. Shortly after, Blake continued his walk, sending his final text message within a few minutes, complaining about the cold weather. Later that morning, Ryan and her mother, as well as Austin, begin worrying about Blake when they learn that he hadn't made it back to Austin's house. From here, the desperate search for Blake begins. Nearly 2 months later, on December 19, 2011, passerbyers alerted Noonan police that they had found remains located in a creek near the Summer Grove subdivision, wearing only an undershirt and underwear, with no sign of his personal belongings such as his wallet, cell phone, or the clothes he was wearing when he left his friend's house on October 16, 2011. The medical examiner determined that Blake died from a gunshot wound to the head. Investigators have cleared 3 persons of interest over the years but have not made any arrests, and sadly, this case is still unsolved.